Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, coming to you live from Fresno, California, a place I call the scariest place on earth, and I'm going to give you many reasons why. For all those who are tuning in on Dark Matter Network, I want to say hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez, and to my right, which is to your left, we have Alan Thomas.
How are you, everyone?
And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I'm saying now from all around the world.
All around the world.
It's kind of scary.
I kind of like it.
And we'll go ahead and get into that right here pretty quick. But this is like a dream come true for us. We're on our way, and we're having a lot of fun doing what we're doing. So, hello everyone. Again, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez, and you are now tuned in for Paranormal Central. The music that you are listening to right now is from our house band. They are called Possessed Tranquility, and if you have been to our website, paranormalcentral.net, there is a page. You can go and check out their music and where to get it, iTunes, Amazon.com. And we're going to get into a little bit about why these guys are our house band, because it is a lot of things going on with us, and a lot of you guys out there, you know, it could be 500,000, could be a quarter of who knows, but this is the first time you guys have heard of us. Well, we've been around for a while, and I'm hoping that what we have to offer is going to bring you back again and again and again. So we're basically going to introduce ourselves for the very first time, because like I said, on the Dark Matter Network worldwide, you guys have never heard of us. So we're going to basically change that tonight. So alright, let's pull the music down and say hi everybody. Alright, here we go. Again, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez, and I am the host of this show. Been at it now for about 4 years on Paranormal Central, but I have been an investigator in the paranormal for going on 14 years. I founded a society called the Sanger Paranormal Society, and that was about 2001 when I first started doing that. And it was only, I started it only in the ghost, you know, part of it, you know, and then I started getting calls, and people started coming up to me about things that were going on in my area of the town where I live, and that's the central part of California. And things were really out of hand here. I mean, really crazy. And you know, the things that are going on here, you guys that are listening right now from all over the world, my job here is to blow you guys away, and I'm going to do it because I have stuff for audio for you guys to listen to. I also have, you know, we're also broadcasting on live stream, and you guys can actually see us on video if you want. But if you don't want to see our faces, no problem. Just stick on the Dark Matter Network, and
yeah, see, actually, you could go to paranormalcentral.net, and there's a picture of us, and all you have to do is click on the picture. It'll take you straight to the live stream and log in or sit there and watch. Just click on the live show, so and you can watch and hear. Either way works for us. So, well, you know what? Like I said, for all those who are now listening to the Dark Matter Network, hello everyone. And before we start, we want to go ahead and thank Mr. Art Bell for basically starting the paranormal world for everybody. That's for sure.
I mean, you know, if it wasn't for him,
we wouldn't even do it if it wasn't for him.
I remember when I was, and this is going to tell you how old both are, but you know, I used to, you know, listen to him from you know, at nighttime all the way until 12 o'clock until I got yelled off by my parents. Stop listening to him. So it's kind of funny, but yeah. So I owe all what I'm doing now to Art Bell. You know, pretty much call him the Godfather.
He used to scare the crap out of me. Like, I worked at a casino, and I had a ranch, and I would drive home, you know, really late after work, and I would have to get out and open the gate, and I would be listening to Art Bell, and he would be telling, man, they would be telling these scary things, you know, and I'm driving along, and all of a sudden I get to the gate, and I got to get out and open the gate. Oh man, I would run and open the gate, you know, and then get in the car and move it, and then have to get out and close the gate. Oh man, I get all the way to my house, jump out of the car, run in the house, you know.
Thank you, Art.
Man, he scared me so many nights.
And you know what? It was fun. And, you know, since I was a little kid, I enjoyed listening and watching all those shows on TV, you know, and I'm sure you guys remember Kolchak the Night Stalker, you know, Project Blue Book. We're talking just all those great shows. In Search Of, that was the first, you know, In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy. I mean, come on, you guys, really? And then the show of all shows that got it to me was the X-Files. I am the biggest X-Files freak that you will ever meet, and if you guys tune in to our live video feed, you'll see my studio in here has a lot of stuff from X-Files. I have the pinball machine X-Files to my left, and an autograph poster behind me signed with everybody. And you really can't see everything in here. You know, as a matter of fact, can you hit the switch for me? But you know, if I could, I would place all my X-Files stuff on the wall, but I just don't have the room. So that tells you how much of a geek I am when it comes to the X-Files stuff. So there you go. Let's go ahead and start off by explaining to you where we've been, what we've done, where we're coming from, and what we're going to be doing here in the near future. Let me introduce myself, first of all, for all the people on the Dark Matter Network. Who am I? What the heck of, you know, why all of a sudden am I on Dark Matter? Well, like I said, I've been doing this for now 14 years. I am an investigator, all right? That was first. Then I became what you want to call a talk show host, all right? I don't consider me to be a talk show host. I am here so I can give you the facts and the evidence of the cases that I've been following and investigating. That's the reason why I started this, okay? Because I had so much stuff that I wanted to show everybody. I just couldn't do it on a website or you know, a blog. I needed an area where I could physically put a video on the screen or some pictures on the screen and show you. And that's why I started doing this. Now, Fresno, California, that's where we're based out of right now, in Fresno. And you're probably going, Fresno, ha ha, you know, that's funny. You know what? Yeah, you know, Fresno, when people, I'm sure you've heard people make fun of Fresno on TV and on the movies. You know, Fresno's always been the butt of the jokes. But I believe that we've come to a conclusion why that is. And when we get into describing Fresno to you, I think there was a reason why they've made Fresno the butt of the jokes. It's because to keep you guys out of here, to be honest. You know, God, it's hard to really come out and to pretty much explain to you what's going on here in Fresno for the very first time, because I've been doing this for 4 years every Sunday on the internet via video and audio. But I'm going to try to give you guys a rundown of what's going on here and the reason why I started this. You know, when TAPS came on TV, you know, I told myself, wow, you know, these guys are out there doing ghost hunting, and that was around, you know, I don't know, was it 2005 or right around there, but I was doing it way before then. But I didn't have all the cool gadgets and stuff that TAPS did. And then I have a degree in electronics, and I know a lot about the cameras, and I happen to, right now, I'm going to tell you right now, maybe I better not, where I work. But I work for a major telephone company. I'm a technician for them, probably one of the biggest in the world. So I know how, you know, I'm, you know, technically inclined. I have common sense. I have a little bit of smarts, and so I decided to do this. First off, ghost. Then I had people come and knock on my door and say, you know what, there's a little bit more than just ghosts happening here in Fresno, dude. And they started explaining things to me, and I said, what do you mean? Well, you know, there's some crazy lights that are always hovering over Fresno. And I said, what? And and then all of a sudden I started investigating UFOs. I also became a MUFON investigator for MUFON for a couple of years. I was a state section director for MUFON for a while. So that actually put me in contact, with MUFON, and that showed me how to investigate and all that. But I had to quit MUFON because what I'm doing now it's got a life of its own, and I just didn't have time really to do the whole MUFON thing. So I had to drop them. And then somebody told me there is a Bigfoot investigator in Fresno, California, and I said, you got to be kidding me. And they put me in contact with a guy by the name of David Ragosa. And so I, called him, and he took me under his wings, and we went up to the Sierras right here east of Fresno. And lo and behold, 2 hours away, we have Bigfoot all over the place. And then, again, and then conspiracy theories, we're talking about military underground bases. Oh my God, it's crazy. Now, Ellen came in the picture how long ago? You remember?
Well, with you, it was about maybe 4 years now.
Okay.
But only how I started was 1987. I ran into a Bigfoot, or a Bigfoot ran into me. And that's what got me going. And about 4 years ago, I was going looking for him all by myself for, since 1987. Actually, there was a 6-year gap. And when I saw him, I never went deer hunting again. I didn't go camping again. I didn't do anything because it was, there was this big 10-foot tall, hairy thing that wasn't there for all my life, all of a sudden was there.
Right.
Right. But then, because of, after 6 years, it was like, okay, I could face this, I could do this, I could go camping, I'm going to go look for him. And I started finding evidence of him. And actually, that's what got me. I heard David was going to be at a pizza parlor and in Hanford. And I drove out there, and then I saw you out there, and I made friends with you on Facebook. And then we went and met at a burger thing,
right.
And one night, and met the SPS team. And then the rest is history. We started like doing all kinds of stuff, and I don't work. I got hurt, so I don't work anymore. So I have a lot of time that most people don't have, and I could go out investigating and doing all kinds of stuff, and I've been at it ever since. Right. And it is fun. We chase UFOs, we chase Bigfoots, we chase ghosts, we're having fun. And then we come back and tell you guys about it. We talk all about it. We share all the evidence.
And again, we're investigators. We are investigators. Now, because we've been doing this for, as far as on the air, to basically give you guys what we've been finding, the Hollywood people have been hearing about us.
Oh, yeah.
And
now wait a minute. For the guys that I'm normally in chat, I'm on a different laptop. This one's not working that great. We had to use my laptop to patch into the dark matter network. So I'm not in chat at the moment, but right. I'm still trying, okay?
Okay. So since we've been doing this, Hollywood started calling us. And what I mean by that, reality shows. You guys probably, and maybe not, you guys remember a show called Chasing UFOs with James Fox and Aaron Ryder. Well, I was on there on a full episode called Dirty Secrets, and you guys probably saw me on the whole episode. And you can go to YouTube if you've never seen it. It was only a 1-season deal, which is too bad. But it's on YouTube called Dirty Secrets. It's also on our website, paranormalcentral.net. You can actually go to the link that says National TV Shows and click on the YouTube if you want. Ellen was on the episode of Finding Bigfoot, the Sierra Spy, I believe it was. And for all those who don't know, and maybe you guys remember hearing in a couple of years ago that these guys who were camping and got their pickup stuck up in the mountains, and it came back and there was some impressions on the windows of a Bigfoot. Well, that was us. Those were our windows. That was my truck. So Finding Bigfoot, when they were down here doing an episode, decided to pull Alan aside and do a little brief talk about the windows.
Well, see, like what it was I was working for Animal Planet and Finding Bigfoot. I wasn't going to be on the show. I was just helping the producer. I actually worked for the Nat Geo channel doing the Chasing UFOs, and they liked what I did. And then they hired me, and I wasn't on the Chasing UFO show either. I just worked for the Nat Geo channel while they were here. And then I was working for Animal Planet while they're here. Mm-hmm. But then, you know, I got tight with Bobo and them, and because I liked Bigfoot. I saw one, and man, we started talking Bigfoots, and then they're like, dude, how come we don't have Alan on the radio?
Alan is a Bigfoot freak. You know? I'm telling you guys right now, Alan is a Bigfoot freak.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's a few of us out there.
So Alan, as he was working for Finding Bigfoot, they pulled him aside, and they said, okay, tell us about these windows. And he went and told them the story, and kind of blew them away because they didn't have an idea of what exactly happened to us that one weekend.
They had no idea at all.
No clue, which blew us away because we thought that, okay, the people, the reality show of all reality shows that talk about Bigfoot had no clue about, you know, our windows. Well, from what we understand, they assumed it was a bear until Alan was telling them the story.
Well, I think they were reading what everybody wrote.
So, yeah, exactly. So now, and another thing that I took off the windows off my truck. I still have those windows preserved. All right, you guys? Taking that now, for all those who know what that, on the Destination America channel, show called Monsters.
Is there even any video going? Are you in chat with video?
Yeah, video's on.
Yeah.
Really? So what's up with mine here?
So so it's you know, the show Monsters and Mysteries on the Destination channel. They came down 2 months ago and they did a full episode on us and the windows. And that is going to be coming out worldwide next month in December. Actually, December, this month. They said it's going to be coming out this month. So they're actually devoting a whole episode of Monsters and Mysteries to us around that whole incident. Including, they're going to be talking about Alan's incident as well when he met that one Bigfoot. So I'm actually going to be showing the windows for the very first time worldwide on that show, Destination America, this month actually, and we will let you know exactly what episode or when that will come on, so we can let everybody know and to tune in, because you are going to be witnessing for the first time the window of the full face, and you know that was pressed against the window.
That's not all we're doing.
No,
I mean, this is gonna be good, you guys. I mean, we're gonna talk about the windows. Oh yeah, but we're gonna talk about some Bigfoot stories, and it's gonna. You might not never go camping again after hearing this, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be a good show coming out. I wish I could tell you what day, though. I don't know what day.
Yeah, we don't know. But as far as the producers who've been in contact with Alan, they're they're doing recreation. They're getting actors. What's good about this incident that happened to us, guys, for the windows, is when it happened, we documented everything because we're investigators. All right, so we had the common sense to document, film, take pictures of everything. And that's what we did. So when those guys found out that, about the whole window incident, they, came down, and all of a sudden we had files and pictures and video of all this. They were just freaking out because they're going, "Oh my God, I can't believe you have this, and no one else has taken it upon themselves to run a story on it." And I'm going, well, here it is. When we did a press release, the month or 2 months after the incident, nobody took us seriously. And that's what really ticked me off because, I'm, for all those people who know me, know that I'm the most honest person that you will ever meet. And Alan's over here going, "No, he isn't." Yes, I am, dude.
They can't hear my head rattling, right?
Yes, I am, you guys. There's one thing that I will never do on here is I will never put lies or faked Photoshop or CGI stuff. The stuff that we're going to get is for real. All right? It is not make-believe. And that's one thing you guys are going to have to understand. And a lot of people are tripping out because we're showing all this stuff. And they can't believe we're getting all this stuff. Why? It's because, you know, we're getting our feet wet and our hands dirty. And we're going up to the mountains. We're climbing trees. We're spending the night in the snow. We're standing outside, you know, at a sky watching situation or an abduction where people have been abducted. We're camping outside of the house. That's why we have all this stuff. Now, we have a lot of this stuff right now on my website, not the paranormalcentral.net, but the Sanger.
Should we tell them about? We got a deal on a Skywatch. You guys are gonna love this.
Yeah.
Local people.
Yes. But the Sanger Paranormal Society. All right. It's Sanger. It spells S as in Sam, ANGER, paranormalsociety.com. That is the website that I started off with when I first started this whole investigation thing. You can go. There are pictures of Bigfoot. David Ragosa got a freaking Bigfoot walking up a hill. I went back to try to debunk it, and I couldn't do it because this thing was about 10 feet high, 11 feet tall, and I'm only 6'2". And it shows me in the same place where this thing was, and you can see the arms and the hands. As a matter of fact, it's awesome. So there's a lot of stuff on there that you can go and check out on the Sanger Paranormal Society website. You know, you can do that after the show or whatever you want. But, you know, we're constantly getting stuff, guys, and we're going to give that stuff to you as we get it. And every Sunday night, we're going to either let you hear it or we're going to show it to you through live stream. And that's what we've been doing the past 4 years. Now, again, you know, Fox News Network did an actual story on me that went worldwide on the Fox National News, believe it or not. And what happened is when that happened, other countries saw what was going on in Fresno, and especially Sweden. They dispatched out a Swedish cable. It was a TV show, actually. And they actually came down to Fresno, and they did an episode on UFOs because they heard about Fresno. So what a trip.
I actually tried to put that. I'm trying to find that video to put on the website. Okay. And so far, there's so many videos. Man,
we have so many videos.
Really,
guys.
I've been loading up videos and pictures for days. Yes. It's crazy.
There's a lot of stuff that, again, we're doing. You know, I'm a geek when it comes to paranormal, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, you know, look at the studio where we're at, okay? I am a serious paranormal geek. You know, I'm married with children, but I am still a geek, and I got, you know, I've been collecting X-Files stuff for a long time. So, and the reason why I'm also doing this is to make all of you out there not to be embarrassed of liking this stuff, man. Because I am actually bringing people out of the woodwork that want to keep quiet, but you know that when an Ancient Aliens or an Alien X, you know, Files or an X-Files, whatever comes on the TV, they're gonna watch it. Is what, you know. So many people like this stuff, and you know, there's no reason to be embarrassed because the stuff that there's something I forgot to tell you guys. I also have a 24-hour UFO hotline, and that's also on the it's area code 559-287-8367. Now don't call it because it's gonna ring right now if you do, but it's area code 559-287-8367. The last four numbers represent the letters UFOS, and I've had that 7 years, 8 years now. I actually have law enforcement calling me. Fresno Police Department. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. But I got them calling me. I got military personnel calling me. I actually had a congressman call me because something flew over his house up in the foothills. He had to tell somebody. And luckily, you know, all the networks here in Fresno follow me, what I do, especially on Facebook, and they trip out. And they're tripping out right now because we're on the Dark Matter Network. So it's like on a double whammy. So, all right, now another thing that we're in actually doing is we shot a pilot for TV, and it's a talk show pilot. So basically what you see here right now, if you're watching us on video, is I decided to step it up a little bit. And example, Jimmy Kimmel, David Letterman, atmosphere. But just imagine the set behind us with all paranormal type of stuff. You know, we got, you know, Bigfoot, we got aliens, we got a large flying saucer, and we have our official house band, Possessed Tranquility. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, hello everyone.
That's Anthony, who's doing our sound really quick for us. So, it's actually we did a pilot, you know, and I presented the pilot to the Fox network here in Fresno, and they looked at it and they went, "Holy smokes!" They had no clue that we were going to do what we did, because I had told them way beforehand that I had an idea. And they said, okay, yeah, right, whatever, you know, whatever. And that's the way they looked at me. But after we had it filmed, edited, the whole 9 yards, the general manager looked at it and he says, I'll play this on my network. And we were expecting to say, okay, how much? Well, he didn't charge us, guys.
Yeah, and that, you know what, that's a miracle.
Now, get this. He also runs the CW. They're like, they're together. Well, they aired it on the Fox network, and then re-aired it on the CW, and they didn't charge us. And now he's wanting more episodes. So what we're going to be doing here in February of next year is we're going in and we're going to do it in front of a live studio audience, and we're going to do it in a haunted theater here in Fresno, and we're going to film. We're going to shoot for 4 or 5 episodes right off the bat that weekend. We're going to shoot 5 episodes, and we have actors that are going to come down and do interviews with us, and it's going to be awesome. We can't wait. And for all those who have never seen the pilot, probably haven't, well, it's on the paranormalcentral.net website right now. Go to what is it linked at?
Well, I mean, if they go to paranormalcentral.net,
right,
everything is on there.
But on the link though, I mean, you have home, Possessed Tranquility,
talk show.
Talk show. The one marked talk show. The link. Click on that, and the talk show is 44 minutes without any commercials, and you can actually watch the actual talk show that was put on TV, and check it out. That's, you know, right now that is just a pilot. We have much more that we're going to do as far as ideas and stuff that I can't tell you, but we have some people who are interested now. And we're going to continue doing this because we love it, and we can't wait to really show you guys what's going on. I mean, I still have so much stuff that I want to show you guys and stuff, but you know, I don't even know where to begin. Tonight, what we're going to do is we're just introducing ourselves to everybody. We're going to, you know, give you basically background on all of us and what we've been doing, which we are doing now. And we're giving you guys links and places to go and see our work. And that's what we're doing right now. So that way you guys know we're not smoking anything. I mean, you can, like I said, you can go to the website, and Ellen has been putting together a cool website and trying to put up as many pictures and UFO videos, links. Possessed Tranquility is on there too. If you like their music, man, go buy their EP right now on iTunes, on Amazon.com, or again, the band's Possessed Tranquility. There's a link on paranormalcentral.net. Go check them out, guys.
And then if you're on that page, if you you'll see the title says Possessed Tranquility right on the page. If you click on Possessed Tranquility, you'll go to their website, Rumination. Is that what it is, Anthony?
Yeah, it's Reverb Nation.
Reverb Nation?
Right.
Yeah, man, these guys are awesome. So, and the songs aren't real expensive, and they're really good.
Yeah, you can buy 5 songs for $5. Come on, guys, really? So
I don't even.
So everybody out there, go and buy one song. We have a lot going for us right now, you guys. Let me tell you. There's a picture that if you go to my website, right, or the paranormalcentral.net, I'll tell you how big of a geek I really am. I actually have an ambulance that I have converted into a into a research unit. It's a 1985 ambulance. Doesn't look like the Ghostbusters ambulance. This thing is taller. It's a bigger ambulance, but I needed something that I could place all my equipment in it and go and do investigations. So I got this ambulance. I tricked it out sort of kind of with stickers on it, and it got the Sanger Paranormal Society logo. If you want to see it,
it's black.
It's black, and it has it's cool looking. It can definitely do some more work. But hey, if you want to see it, go to paranormalcentral.net and check it out. There's a picture on there, a couple pictures. So there you go. God, I mean, like I said, there's so much going on. I want to start letting you guys know why I started doing this here in Fresno, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk to you about why chasing UFOs have come to Fresno, why the Finding Bigfoot came to Fresno, why Destination America Monsters and Mysteries came to Fresno, why Swedish TV came to Fresno. Here, let me throw you you need a pen. Here you go. Here you go. throw Anthony a pen. There's stuff going on here in Fresno, you guys, and
actually all over the world now.
All over the world, but what I want to do is tell them why we've been getting so much stuff here. They have no clue.
It's crazy here, off the hook.
It's Paranormal Central here in Fresno, and that's why I called it, the show Paranormal Central, because that's what it is here in Fresno. So let's start by explaining to you guys what is going on in Fresno, and I believe, and all my heart, that I think I figured out sort of kind of what's going on here. God, where do I start? Well, first of all, let's just start by saying that because however long I've been doing this, I've had people coming in to settings and story. I'm trying to figure out. I have no idea.
It's too dark. We can't read it. No.
I want to go ahead and give you a reason why I believe a lot of this stuff is going on here. For one thing, we have the National Guard here in Fresno, California. It's a 144th Fighter Wing, and they are controlled by NORAD. They are the West Coast protectors of California. Anything
does that say something? Is that the top word? No. Oh.
Is that anything that's on the West Coast?
3 questions. No.
Anything that's on the West Coast actually, Anthony's trying to tell us something. Hold on, I'm gonna silence the mic and you tell us. Ready? So, all right. So let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and give you guys some stories on Fresno. Because of all the investigations that I've been doing, I've been finding things about Fresno. Let's go ahead and start off. Well, everybody knows the Denver airport, right? Everybody knows what's going on underneath the Denver airport.
In fact, our last guest went to the Denver airport.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, our last guest was Scott Walter of America Unearthed. We had him last week.
Well, there we go. TV. This one went out. I'm not in chat anymore.
So, Denver Airport. Everybody knows what's underneath the Denver Airport, the underground facility. Supposedly for the New World Order. You guys all know. If you guys listen to Art Bell, you guys know exactly what's going on. I believe that's exactly what's going on here in Fresno. I was listening to one of the stations down here in Fresno, California, and the DJ was talking to the guy in charge of the airport, and he was saying, "Hey, man, you guys got a load of solar panels that's right here off of Clovis Avenue, but it's hidden by all these mulberry bushes, right?" And the guy goes, yeah, we have a lot of solar panels. Oleanders, thank you.
Yeah.
And the DJ goes, well, are you guys you guys have the only set of solar panels of that large in America? And he goes, well, we were the first and the only ones, but now the Denver airport is now the largest. And we're like, what? So take that into consideration, guys. Fresno Airport, they have a set of acre after acre after acre of solar panels that power something in case the power goes out. All right. I have been told there is an underground facilities at the Fresno airport, and it goes about 5 stories underground. And they've been doing testing on there for a long time, and I mean a long time. I've actually seen the Janet airplanes parked out here north of Fresno. And for all those who are into Area 51, I have seen 2 of their aircraft parked out here, and I know what they look like. You know, the red stripe and the whole 9 yards, and I know that's exactly what I witnessed. And that, you know, and all that I'm putting together as far as pieces to go, is telling me, yep, something's definitely going on here. I am being followed now. I have been being followed for the past 6 or 7 years. Whenever I go on an investigation, there is a white van or a white vehicle following me or at the location. For example, if you go to Chasing UFOs, there was an incident where I captured 2 white vans parked outside in the front of this house out in the country in Clovis, California. And the reason why I caught these guys, there was a UFO incident that happened the night before. They witnessed this large triangle craft, supposedly out of control, coming into their house, and they all freaked, and they went running out the front door. This is a family, okay, a mother, father, and 2 children, running out. The father was in his underwear, and he's running down Shaw Avenue, and they see this big, huge black, what they thought was like a 737, but it was more, I believe it was a triangle, and it was going to crash. It was out of control, and they went running out the front door, running down the street, and then all of a sudden they turn around, stop, and it was gone. The night before, actually the day after, I was working the telephone company down the street when I got the report from MUFON. And I said, holy mackerel, that's just down the street. So I drove, and then all of a sudden, I see this white van parked across the street of their house. So I'm in my, vehicle of the telephone company, and I make a U-E. I parked on the opposite side, and I put my pylons out, right? And I start videotaping this van. And then all of a sudden, another van pops out. Well, I'm sure that, I was so lucky to get these guys. These guys were staking out the house, basically. There is stuff like that happening all the time. When Chasing UFOs were down here filming, we were being followed every single day with guys in white trucks and white vans. As a matter of fact, if you guys remember the episode of Chasing UFOs, I was on the levee north of Fresno, where I believe there is, I'm going to say it right now, a portal or some type of wormhole happening where these things are coming in and out that is patrolled by these white vehicles. Well, when we were out there filming on the levee north of Fresno, there was this white, crazy-looking van that came out of the levee, and the camera guy, I go, you guys look, and they swung the cameras around, and they were filming it, and they got it on film. But what is upsetting is that when everybody saw that on Chasing UFOs, they thought that was that was all placed there. We faked it. No, guys, that was real. We actually got that white van coming out, and it tried to basically sneak out. There was only one way in and one way out, and we were there, and we got it on film. We've actually, that's the type of stuff that's going on here. I will get, okay, I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to tell you what law enforcement, because obviously, we have California Highway Patrol, we have the sheriffs, we have the Fresno Police, and we have Clovis PD. One of these guys were in this patrol car north of Fresno at a location called River Park. And I got a call on my 24-hour hotline. And he goes, hi, Jeff, this is so-and-so with the so-and-so. And he told me what, law enforcement he was with. And he just said, I want to tell you something. There's something floating on top of River Park right now. And he hung up the phone. And not more than 3 minutes later, I got two more calls come in from that area. And as soon as the third call hung up, the jets started to take off out of the airport, and they were loud because I turned to my wife. I'm going, holy mackerel! I believe 4 of them came, took just screaming out of the airport, and then I started getting more calls on my 24-hour hotline. They were going, Jeff, these jets are chasing these lights over Fresno, and I'm all, what? And then 5 or 6 calls came in. They were all telling me exactly the same thing. This is what's going on here in Fresno, California. And it's crazy because everybody is witnessing it. Now, what's kind of cool is that I'm on my Facebook page, Jeffrey Gonzalez. When I post a UFO sighting, I have people all around the valley run outside and with their video cameras and cell phones, and they start to try to get all this stuff on video and on photographs, and it works. We got a system going here, and the media has picked up on it. The media is listening to me. When I post something on Facebook, they'll run outside too. We had an incident. There's a regular sky watcher here in Fresno, California. His name is Robert Thorson, and this guy's been doing this UFO sky watching forever, longer than I've been doing this, I believe. And he called me on my 24-hour hotline. He goes, Jeff, I've been videotaping this thing for 2 hours now up in the sky in the southwestern sky. And I said, really? So I go outside during the day. I'm looking it up, and sure as heck, there it is, and it's just sitting there. Then I get my binoculars. I go back outside, and I'm looking at this thing. I'm going, holy mackerel. I mean, you can tell this is like in the atmosphere, all right? But it's rotating, and it's just sitting there, and it sits there for 6 hours. And then Robert Thorson got this thing on video, guys. It looked like a giant space shuttle, but the only problem is we didn't have any space shuttles up at that time. And he got that on video. I got pictures of it. It's the channel NBC and ABC here in Fresno called me because they knew I was talking about it on Facebook, and they ran outside and they go, Jeff, what is it? I'm like, I don't know yet. And what's kind of funny though is that after about 5 hours, the 737s or 747s, I don't know, but they were the big ones, were flying right over us, and all of a sudden, as soon as they got underneath this craft, they turned on the sprays, and they were chemtrailing, trying to block the vision from us looking at this thing, whatever it was. And everybody who was on Facebook caught it and was on Facebook saying, are you guys seeing this jet just dropping chemtrails right underneath this object? And everybody was looking at it. And so it stuff like that is telling me that there is something major going on. Chemtrails. I mean, for the past month or so, everybody, and I've been getting calls from all over the United States, they've been just dropping chemtrails left and right. And I believe there's different theories on the chemtrails. And again, we'll talk about that at another episode. But let's talk about a particular case that I think is really, really exciting, that I want to share with you today here in Fresno, California. There's so many of them. What comes up to you, Alan? I mean, let's say, for example, a UFO incident that happened here.
Well, the mass one with the balloon, where they say it was a balloon, but it hovered for like 8 hours all day. Looked like a balloon. Right. It really did. And the wind was blowing about 15 or 20 miles an hour on the ground, and 70 miles an hour at 50,000 feet. And this thing was up there, way up there. I watched it, and I even had it lined up with the eave of the roof with my camera, and I videotaped it for 3 hours, and it didn't even move. I mean, it just sat there. Right. In the 80s, I used to hot air balloon, and we used to send off balloons. And that's how we would tell which direction the wind was blowing. And as the balloon would rise, it would show you the wind speed before you get up there in the hot air balloon. Right. So I knew, I could tell that on the ground it was blowing, it was about 15 miles an hour, breezy. So that means up there it's really blowing. And I found out later from the weatherman it was like 70 miles an hour up there. And this thing was just sitting there.
Now, what's kind of cool is that
hours.
What's kind of cool is that when I got the calls on my 24-hour hotline, and I was outside already looking at this thing, I notified the Fox Network here in Fresno, and their weather guy, meteorologist Kevin Raymer, went outside, and he was looking at this thing, and he actually that night on the newscast said this thing was not a balloon. But yet it looked like a balloon, and everybody was going, no, it was a balloon. And Kevin going, no, it was not a balloon, because he actually put up on the screen the elevations on the speed of the current up there. And he says up there at that, it was actually it was like 100 and something miles an hour, I think, or like you said, 79, 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, no, this was not a balloon. It was not a balloon. He didn't say it was a UFO or anything like that. He just said it was not a balloon. And so, what's cool about this is that we had thousands of people who witnessed this. All right. God. Fresno.
Well, like just for instance, like a few weeks ago, I would say maybe a month now, I was with the ambulance. Okay, at the shop where the ambulance is.
Oh my god. Okay. When Alan told me this, I thought he was just out there in cuckoo land, but 2 people saw this. So I'm gonna let him tell you guys the story because this is just freaky.
See, I'm still freaking out, and I don't even like to look at the sky now. When I go outside, I smoke, so I go outside and have a smoke. And, I used to always look at the sky because we get lots of reports of people going outside, and usually they're out having a smoke, and they look up and they see something, right?
Right.
And that's when we get all our reports from people that go out and have a smoke. Well, we're standing out there, and I'm talking to the mechanic, and we're looking off to the west, and the sun just went down below the horizon. And here comes this, what I thought was a cigar. I mean, it was brown like a cigar, and it was coming along, and I didn't really pay much attention to it too much. But I did notice it was kind of weird. And when it got a little bit closer, I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird looking, and it doesn't have lights. So then I told the mechanic, his name is Rick, I told him, hey, man, the airplane doesn't have any lights. And it doesn't have any wings. And he says, oh, it has wings. He goes, I saw it coming up, and there was some wings. And about that time, it kind of rolled. It made like a rolling movement. And then I could see the wings, and they were black, and they looked like dragon or bat wings.
Jeez.
And I realized that the brown part of it was fur, and it was about the size of a Cessna. Okay, like, it's not no little thing. It was huge. It was really big. Okay, I carry a backpack always, and it has a video camera, and it has binoculars in it, and I carry it everywhere.
Ditto. I do the same thing.
I mean, I have it always. So I was about 5 feet away from my van, and I hopped over there as fast as I can. I can't run too good because of my leg, but I went as fast as I could. Got my binoculars out. I looked at the camera for a second, and I'm thinking, this is too weird. I want to see it. For some reason, I thought maybe it was somebody pulling a prank or had a kite or something, Like, I didn't think video right away. I want to get a good look at it. So I grabbed the binoculars and threw them up there. And right when I focused in on it, and they're zoom in kind, right? 7 by 15. Really nice ones. And I got on it, focused it, zoomed it in about, 8, 9 power, somewhere in there. And the thing turned its wings and kind of grabbed the wind a little bit and slowed down. And then and it was starting to pass by me, and it turned back and looked at me, and it had these eyes like this big, red eyes.
All right, guys. Now,
and it looked right at me. I immediately freaked out, and I ran back to the van, and I'm thinking video camera, right? And I realized that now Rick, the mechanic, he had already ran in and got his video camera and was out, and he was messing with it, trying to get it.
All right.
And I got my video camera, and man, I'm like trying to get it, and it's now, I guess, it knows we got the video camera, and that thing kind of started really moving. The one thing that really struck me as odd about the thing, it never flapped its wings like a bird. It always was just gliding like, you see a hawk or something gliding. But it could pick up speed. I mean, it was picking up speed without flapping its wings. I mean, it started booking off. And by the time I got my camera and everything, I couldn't see it. And then I asked Rick, did you get it on the camera? And he's like, no, I was looking at the moon the night before, and he had it like 1,000 zoom in. And by the time he, messed with it and got it out, the thing was gone. And then we sat there, incredible, that was incredible. And he's like, hey, it looked at you, not me.
Okay, now you guys, I'm going to stop him right there.
We were freaking out, man.
Now, because Rick, the mechanic, the guy's a joker, all right? But this thing...
Yeah, he likes to mess with us.
This thing scared him really bad. And I know he's listening. I know it scared you, Rick. And
it scared me.
Because you were quiet for a while after this happened. And I know you're always on Facebook, joking with everybody. But after this incident, Rick completely mellowed out for a while.
Well, he kind of got a little more serious,
Yeah, because people, when they watch us and listen to us, and the stories that we tell aren't stories, and I mean they're actual incidences that occur that we know the people, or it happens to us.
Well, see, like now with that, when I saw Bigfoot in 1987, it wasn't cool to see Bigfoot. All right, I mean,
right.
In 1987, if you said you saw a Bigfoot, you immediately became the laughter of the party, the big joke. You know what I mean? Everybody made jokes, and your friends and your family and everybody, you're like this big joke walking around. Nowadays, you could say you saw a Bigfoot, and everybody's like, "Oh man, I want to see one."
Right? Exactly. Yeah, you're right. I mean? You're right, and it's because of the shows that are out there. It's because of Art Bell. It's because of what we're trying to, to make people understand that don't be afraid. I know there are probably thousands of you out there who probably have the video of all videos, or the photograph of all photographs.
I would love to see somebody. I would love to see somebody send us a video. And I know, like you said, there's people out there. They probably have Bigfoot things and everything, and they don't want to be laughed at.
Right.
Man, and don't hide this stuff.
Don't. There's no reason to be ashamed if you have this stuff. I mean, we believe in this stuff. That's why we do this.
We will not laugh at you.
Oh, my God. As a matter of fact, if we witness, if you show us something, we'll probably end up jumping up and down and start crying if it really blows our mind. I mean, because that's what we live for, guys. We want this stuff to... we want this stuff to come forward. And that's why we continue doing this, and we're not going to stop. Especially with the talk show. Once it gets on TV, we want people like you to show stuff, and we're going to show it to the world, man.
Well, that's what's so cool about the hotline number.
Yeah.
We have a hotline number, and people it's starting to get known, and man, like there was a time that a year or so ago, we actually had so many calls.
Yeah.
And it would be, I can't remember the days now because it's been about a year, and now I guess they figured out that we figured out their pattern.
Right.
And it was like, go outside between the hours of like dusk to 11 o'clock on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
It was Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Yeah, and we were nailing it, man. We had it nailed, and people would go out. And we were getting these calls like, "Oh my God, they're giving us reports," and we would get like 50 of them. It would be yes,
and those calls right there, though, I believe those crafts were ours.
Oh yeah,
because
it was too much of a pattern.
Yeah, and when we document all these sightings, we realized Sunday nights, Wednesday nights, and Thursday nights were the days that a lot of people were getting this stuff, and we were wondering why is that. Well, think about it. Sunday nights, you have the next day you have to go to work. It's after the weekend. You don't want to be doing anything. Everybody's indoors. Nobody's out partying. So what's going to happen is, Fresno lies right in. Actually, they have a name for it. It's called the Nevada Triangle. We have Area 51, which is about 250 miles just northeast of us, and then we have China Lake southeast of us, and then we have the Lemoore Naval Air Base, which is south of us. And then we have Fresno, right dead center. So I believe that, whatever they're testing in the desert, is they're flying them over Fresno, and they're cruising, and they're like, hovering, and they're freaking people out. But I think they just want to test the waters, and I think that's what they were doing. But since we caught on the days that they were doing all this, it stopped.
Yeah, it really did.
It stopped. Yeah. People were going, "There's no more sightings." I'm going, sorry.
And we would have the people on the show.
Right.
call in and tell your story and everything, and we want to do that still. That's why that number's there,
Right.
Because it's no fun. I mean, when you tune in on TV and they talk about UFO things, it's like 1947 or in 1952 these UFOs flew over the Capitol. Well, what happened last week?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
And that's what we're going to do here. Because of the hotline and because of our connections now, we're going to start bringing you to every Sunday. We have somebody who's going to come on the air. His name is Ken, and I don't want to give too much away. He will be on the air next week, and he's going for the first 15 minutes. He's going to give us the 5 to 7 best UFO sightings in the United States or even the world, with footage of video and photographs that I will be placing on live stream. And then later on, if you're not on there, you can always go back, and it's going to be archived. No big deal. But we're going to basically be giving you the best stuff as it happens during the week. All right, and that's what we're going to do. Like I said, we're also going to have authors and actors. Like I said, last Sunday we had Scott Walter from America Unearthed on, and we were talking. As a matter of fact, we actually talked about some ruins that we found north of Fresno, and that's another episode. That's and he was tripping out when we showed him the pictures. So we have ruins here, ancient ruins, we believe, here in Fresno, California. Now let's talk about Bigfoot. Our phone sort of kind of has been ringing about Bigfoot, not too much as UFOs, but more Bigfoot. David Ragosa has been doing the Bigfoot investigating for over 25 years. This guy, he has been on some TV shows, he has been on some major paranormal shows, and he found a spot just east of Fresno, about 2.5 hours, where he goes, or actually he still goes. These things are walking up there all over the place. That's where the window incident happened with us. Now, should we talk about the windows at all, or just wait? No.
We
that's
ran
old
that
news.
in the ground.
Yeah, we did.
Man,
You'll be
really.
able to see that, next. But we're getting Bigfoot sightings, you guys, and I know this is going to blow you away, and this is probably going to scare people who live near the foothills or like around Sanger or Delray or Parley or Reedley. We have Bigfoots actually running down here, near Academy Avenue, near Sanger, the city of Sanger in Clovis. We had a Bigfoot sighting at Zedeker and Ashland Avenue in Clovis, California. We actually had a Bigfoot sighting on the way up on Bryant Road to the Table Mountain Casino. There's some cherry orchards up there. They actually had a family who saw a Bigfoot run into the cherry orchards.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys
in the valley floor.
Yeah, this is the valley floor, guys. Now you guys have to understand too that why you're out of your mind. No, and let me tell you why the Bigfoots are coming down to the valley floor. Is the Central Valley of California is the fruit basket of the world. We grow everything here, you guys. We got oranges, peaches, plums, nectarines, grapes. Everything you can imagine is grown here in the valley and is shipped out all over the world. We have the best produce, all right? And oranges. Oh my God, we have so much oranges. Well, the Bigfoots come down from the mountains and they eat the oranges. And now you're probably going, well, how come no one really gets to see them? Well, they move during the night. We have canals and creeks down here in the valley floor. They use that for their transportation, highway transportation. So when they're going from point A to point B, they're using these canals, dried up canals, and they're walking in them. Granted, they're probably 9 and 10 feet tall anyways, but they're still walking in this area, down these canals from the foothills to the locations where these orange trees are at. And then you have to understand that there are thousands and thousands of acres out there, so much, these orange orchards out there of Bigfoot, or it could be hiding underneath one of these trees during the day. You would never know. You would never know.
Well,
right?
I think they've been coming down here. Like, if you go on the BFRO, there's actually a report, and I know maybe a lot of the people that are listening don't know where this is, but there's a slough called Mendota Slough.
Okay.
And it's way out, like almost by I-5. in the like right in the center of California, pretty much. And the San Joaquin River goes down through there, and this is an old report of a Sasquatch throwing rocks at these guys that were fishing out there. And I mean, so
Yeah.
what they use the rivers, the creeks, and stuff like that at night. They get in them and they go find food and everything, and all they have to do is find a little swampy or bushy area in somebody's field, and then sit there all day long and hide.
Right.
And then at night they jump in there and then they take off again, and they might even be out there looking in your windows. Who knows?
Who knows?
Mean, they love to be peeping toms. I was just telling them on the chat, I'm scared to go out there still. It scares me to think that there's a 10-foot tall creature that looks like it could turn your car over or even pick it up and carry it away, really. I mean, he looks big enough where he could pick your car up and walk off with it. Well, what about your 3-man tent? That's a sack lunch, right? And that's what I feel like every time I go up there. I'm in this tent, and it's like grab and go, right? Just grab the tent, throw it over his shoulder, and take off. He'll eat me later, that's how I feel when I'm out there, always. I can't sleep. Oh, man.
We just had a report, and I'm just going to say it was a school district here in Fresno.
Goodbye, computer.
It's a school district.
I think it's overheating.
A school district just east of Fresno, and one of their bus drivers was deer hunting, and he was in a camper. He was by himself, and the nighttime around about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
I'm not going to turn it on. I'm going to stay
12. It started shaking his camper. All right, now he got up, thought it was an earthquake. He went to the window, and he peeked, through the curtain, and he saw this thing, the height of its camper, take 4 steps, and it was gone. All right. Well, he came down to the school district the following day, and he told everybody. So everybody was talking about it, and I was trying, because my buddy at work, his wife works there. She's one of the top dogs there, and I was trying to get him to tell your wife to tell him to call me, and for the longest time, I kept bugging her, and I guess he doesn't want to talk now. But regardless, that's the stuff that's been going on like crazy here in Fresno, guys.
Could you imagine, like I would feel better in a RV, okay,
right,
instead of a sack lunch,
yeah,
right? But only then you get the guy that's in a RV, that's in like a 24-foot RV, and something takes it off the wheels. You know what I mean? It starts rocking the thing, and then one side of it comes up off the wheels.
Right. And
then when he runs to look outside, it drops it and walks away, and he sees it walking away. But I mean, a 24-foot RV, he has it like up on one side. You know what I mean? Like he feels like it's going to fall over.
Yeah.
So you're in a sack lunch when you're in a tent.
Now,
I mean, he could just pick you up, poof, and away he goes.
Yep. And the Bigfoot was ticked off at him because he was deer hunting, and from we understand, the Bigfoots are meat eaters, and they were out, and they're probably this particular Bigfoot was probably at his spot that he goes every year, waiting for the deer migration, and so happens that this deer hunter was there, and the Bigfoot was ticked off, and the Bigfoot was basically telling him to get out of his area.
Well, what if there's like humans, like you got a Jeffrey Dahmer Bigfoot? You know what I'm saying? And then you have one like me, nice and, happy-go-lucky and never met a stranger, and all that. And then you got the other one that, he's a psychopathic,
there's
predator that eats people.
Well, eats people. Now we can talk about, David Paulides and missing 411 guys. That's just going to freak you guys out.
Somebody wants to hear about Alan's first experience in siding with the Bigfoot.
Go ahead, talk about
it. The very first time?
Yeah, very first one.
Go for it.
All right, man. The very first time, it was 1987. It was in October. We were deer hunting, and I know I have a sister in chat. I can't talk with her right now because I can't get in chat, but she could verify this. We grew up camping. I mean, we went every weekend. The parents would get off work on Friday night. They would wake us up at midnight. And, I mean, we had everything loaded already. We'd get in the car, and then we would go to the mountains. So we kind of grew up in the mountains. And then, hunting was everything. We reload our own ammunition. We by the time I was 5, I had my first 22. By the time I was 12, I had a 30-06. I mean, reload all the ammunition, shot all the guns, pistols, everything. So we're out deer hunting. And I'm with this guy that my dad passed away. It was his best friend. And I felt bad for him because he was going out there all by himself. And so I went with him. And on this trip, he tripped me out. Like, it was the first time that he really, showed me some things. He was taking me to some places, and then he would say, we'll sit right here, and in within an hour, some deer are going to walk by going this way, going to the water. And they did. So then one day, he says, we were up there 9 days. One day in the evening, he says, tomorrow we're going to go up this road to the dead end, to this trailhead, and then we're going to walk over the hill, and there's some high mountain lakes in the wilderness, and the bucks are over there. And he goes, we're going to go hike over there. But only we're going to leave before the sun comes up in the dark, and we'll sit in the truck until you can just see good enough to start walking without a flashlight. And then we'll take off and go over this hill. It's cool. So we wake up in the morning, get the coffee going. We pull up to the dead end of the road at the top of the ridge, maybe 500 yards up to the top. And we're sitting there talking, and we actually talked about Bigfoot. Okay, and I was joking about it, and he was telling me it might be real or something. Mm-hmm. And I actually think he maybe knew that was going to come over the hill. Because he took me to several places where the deer came when he said they did. Mm-hmm. And then he's sitting there talking about Bigfoot, and then it's like, hey, who's that guy up there on top of the hill? And he's walking around, and all you could see was, you couldn't see the ground or the trees, but you could see the silhouette of the sky. And this guy was walking around. And when I first saw him, he was leaned over. It looked like a bear, and he was in the bush. And I had bear tags, and I'm thinking, I'm going to get a bear. And I have a 300 Weatherby Magnum, and it could take down a bear. And I had it all zeroed in. I could shoot 5 shots, cover it up with a dime at 150 yards. So I'm ready for this bear. And then all of a sudden the bear stands up. I'm like, whoa, it's not a bear. It's a guy, what is he doing up there? We've been here 9 days on this road.
Now, before that, though, you had no interest in Bigfoot.
None.
You were just your normal guy out there hunting away.
As far as I was concerned, it was a myth. And I didn't know a lot of tribal members then here that lived around here.
We're going to talk about that next.
And so we were watching this guy walking around. He's digging around in the bushes, and then he starts walking down towards us, and he's dressed in black, completely black. No gun in his hand, no hat on. Looks like he's wearing this big, you've seen those down jackets, down coats where they're puffy, and they're really big, and it makes you look all puffed up.
Right.
It looks like he's wearing one of those, and he's narrow at the hips, and then here he comes down the hill. But then he's doing something that we do when we hunt. You walk a few steps, stop, and then you stand there and don't even move a muscle. You just stand there, because if you do that, it unnerves the deer or the game, and they'll move first. Right. So we were taught to walk 5 feet, stop, and don't even move. Just sit there for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And he was doing that coming down, and I thought, what is he doing? He's hunting. Right? The guy is hunting, but he doesn't have a rifle. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Something's wrong. And the sun was coming up. Okay, it was starting to rise, and it was getting lighter. I could see the ground. I could see the bushes and trees. We're at the tree line, so there's only a few trees, mostly bushes. And he's walking through the bushes, and he's walking straight for us, and sometimes when he stops, he's staring straight at the truck, and we're sitting in the truck. And, looking at him, and now I'm starting to tell, we're going back and forth about it, making jokes, and I told him, you know, when this guy gets down here, I'm going to chew his butt, because I was going to shoot him. He's a bear to me, right?
What did your friend, did your friend think he was a guide as well?
He was playing along with
me. He was playing along with you. So he knew, I think. What do you think?
I think he knew.
Okay.
Because then when it got like 40 yards and it stopped, and then it turned and looked off to my left this way, and it was standing there doing its 10-minute stand there without moving, but it was looking not at us but off to the, like, towards my left. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, where is the binoculars? And we're in a camper, cab over camper. He's like in the camper. I'm like, man, you know. But I have a scope on my rifle, 6x18 variable with a rangefinder in it and everything. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna look, you know. But only inside that cab, I couldn't get the rifle like to in the position where I could see it. Mm-hmm. So I thought, oh man, you know, and I'm gonna open the door really quiet, and it's an old 68 Ford. As soon as I pull the handle, clunk. And it looked at me, and I looked at him, and we were like looking at each other, and all of a sudden he started running to my right. I threw the door open. I threw the rifle down between the door and the windshield, and I'm looking at him, but only I can't look in the scope because he's running really fast. And then my friend next to me, he's yelling, "Don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot, it's human, don't shoot," you know, and I'm thinking, what? I'm not going to shoot it. What if I did shoot it? I mean, I already thought this scenario already. I mean, if I shot it, it fell on the ground, I go over there. I mean, I already seen when it was standing there, the sun peeked out over the hill and lit it up. And I noticed that it had shiny black fur like a black lab. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a big puffy coat. It was actually muscles. The thing was ripped. I mean, it looked like it'd been on steroids its whole life. I mean, it was massive. And I thought, man, you know, I could just like see myself shooting it, and then, you know, you go over there and you want to make sure it's dead, so you're got all your focus on this dead thing on the ground, and the other one over there comes running up and pulls your head off, right? I mean, that's what I thought. Right. Then it runs behind a tree, the only tree, about 200 yards, and it didn't come out. He's yelling, "Don't shoot it," you know, and that's as soon as it didn't come out, that's when I dropped my eye in the scope, and I started really scoping that tree. I scoped all around the tree, and I didn't see nothing, you know. And I told him, you know, be quiet, I'm not going to shoot it. And he's like, all right. I go, I'm going to go over there and find its tracks. He goes, well, don't shoot it. You know, I'm like, quit telling me that, you know, I won't shoot it. Honest, I won't. Unless it tries to get me. He's like, it won't. I'm like, okay. So I went over there and I found these big old huge tracks. And I didn't go to the tree. I was too afraid to go straight to the tree. So I went to where it stopped, where I was going to scope it with it. And I found these big, huge tracks. And then I started looking for the tracks going to the tree. And the tracks, I found it, and it was 15 feet. I'm like, what? You know, no way. So I started looking like 6 feet, and there's no track, 15 feet. There's a track again. You know, I'm like, what? Whoa, you know, I walked to that track, and then I'm looking behind me, looking at the track behind me, and I'm like, no way. Nothing can have a track 15 feet apart. I followed those tracks. They were about 12 to 15 feet apart, and I got to the tree, and I seen where he must have, like, in the mid jump or leap or run or whatever, he turned sideways and he dug in 1 foot and he slid about 6 inches, and the duff forest and the decomposed granite and everything was kind of like bunched up. And then he put the tree between me and him, and he went right up the hill that I just watched him walk down. And when he got to the hill, he was actually kicking dirt back like 5 feet, like grabbing it with his toes and throwing the dirt back, right? And I am freaking out again. Okay, and I get to the where he's going up the hill, and I'm standing by these bushes. And I'm thinking, I'm not going in the bushes, right? Not how fast he ran, and not something that could go, with a track 15 feet apart.
Right.
And there ain't no way I'm going in those bushes. Then I started looking at the bush. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I just watched him walk down through the bushes. And it never got past, it never went above his chest. I always could see chest and shoulders and head. But the bushes was 3 feet above my head. I was like, oh my God, no wonder his tracks are 15 feet apart. The thing is like 12 feet or 10 or 12 feet tall. Oh my God. The bushes, I couldn't even reach the top with my hand. They were that high. I started backing up. And I turned around and I looked towards the truck. And I couldn't see the truck because the tree was in the way. And now I hadn't really thought about that until that point, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute, I've shot porcupines, lizards, squirrels, deer, rabbits. I've tracked all the animals, bears, you name it. Nothing that I ever hunted was smart enough to put a tree between me and it and get away. I was thinking, it's a ninja.
I
a
remember
forest ninja.
And
right.
I remember when you said that ninja thing, that explains it, and we'll get into that, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah. And then I got back to the truck, and my skin wanted to fly to Fresno. If I could have made one leap. My skin was crawling, my hair was, standing straight up, my eyes were watering. I had goosebumps as big as a mountain. And when I got back to the truck, then my friend starts telling me about the 4 other sightings he had in the same area over the years while we were kids growing up.
So he kept it from you.
Well, he didn't. And then he told me that and he's dead now, he actually, semi-truck ran a stop sign and ran over him. And, this semi-truck ran up on his car and killed him. But he told me that if I ever was telling the story of the Bigfoot, and that's why I don't like to say Rick's last name or anything.
Right.
Because some people they can't handle that, the pressure of the people. So I don't know where Rick's at on that, but I'll just say only his first name. He said, if you ever say anything in front of anyone, I'll deny it right to your face. I'll tell you that you're full of it.
You suck, Rick.
Right? Yeah. No, that was my friend.
Oh, your friend.
That was my friend that got run over. I don't know where Rick, like I said, I don't know where Rick's at with that.
No. Rick already came out and said that what you saw with Mothman was it. So.
Yeah, I just say the mechanic, and his name was Rick, and nobody really knows who that or where that is, except for maybe some close friends, and that's all.
Right.
But yeah, then that was it. Then I didn't go camping, hunting. I haven't went hunting again since. The only hunting I do now is I hunt for Sasquatch. That's what I do. See my Sasquatch?
Well, no kill. When we hunt is investigate. We go looking.
Yeah, no kill. I just want to get a good picture or a video and evidence.
But you guys have to understand
DNA, because DNA is better than a body, really.
When we go up, we go armed. You have to. You have to. There is a book out right now by David Paulides called Missing 411. There are so many people that go missing in our country, you guys. It's freaking ridiculous, especially up in the national parks, of America. And this gentleman who is a retired police officer who, and I'm sure all you guys who listen to Art Bell and know who this guy is, David Paulides, he wrote a book with weird disappearances, and we interviewed him a couple of years ago. I purchased a couple of the books, and I lent it to Alan. Alan was going through them, and go ahead and tell everybody what happened. Man.
Well, first, this book, he explains there's over 100,000 people went missing in Yosemite alone. And now where I saw the Bigfoot was just outside the Yosemite boundary on the east side of it.
Okay.
So it would be in the high wilderness Sierra just like southeast of Yosemite. I mean, if you could actually like almost throw a rock and throw it into Yosemite Park, but you're on the backside. That guy, okay, I'm reading his book, and what he did was he took 411 of the actual like most weirdest stories you ever read or heard about that he wrote about them. And then I'm reading the book. We interviewed him on the show.
Yes.
And he sent us some books, and we give away books, you guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
When we interview, we give them away. We gave away some of his. But only I was reading the book, and I got into like chapter 7 or something, 4 or 5, 7, somewhere in there. And when I turned the page, there's my teacher. It was my junior high teacher. His name was William Arthur. Arthur. And he was, when I knew him, he was a captain in the Air Force. He was a Air Force Reserve, and he had a Cessna 310. And I was actually, a little kid, but I was in the Civil Air Patrol. It's an auxiliary of the Air Force. So I'd dress up in my little, Air Force suit, and when people would crash in the mountains, we would go in his airplane and we would fly grids looking for crashed airplanes. Well, he disappeared, and he was in that guy's book.
Right.
And he was within 7 miles of where I saw a Sasquatch.
Right.
And it was within 7 months of the date that I saw Sasquatch. So he disappeared like 7 months or 5 months before I saw a Sasquatch, within 7 miles of where I saw a Sasquatch. And they never found hide nor hair of him.
Right. Now,
just his car.
Now, after that, you were saying that the National Guard here in Fresno that he was part of sent out patrols for months and months looking for him, and they could not find. They didn't find a body, guys. They didn't find anything. Now, Alan is part Native American.
Yeah.
And he has stories that come from the elders that not many people get to listen to. And I'm going to let Alan go ahead and tell you what, he's in with the res down here at the Tule and different areas.
In fact, if they watch the Sierra Spy, nobody gets to go on the res. Okay?
Right.
But only I got him onto the res, and we actually were standing like Boba was saying, or Cliff Brackman, like Mecca. Right.
What it is you guys have all seen those paintings on the rocks of the Sasquatch, all right? That is here just south of Fresno, California, in a town called Porterville. And it's on a reservation, the Tule Reservation.
And I wouldn't suggest you try to go there, on your own and drive up there. Right.
No, you can't.
It would be not wise.
Yeah, because you might not come home.
That's right. Yeah. But they have their own police too.
Right.
But
so Alan, when he was working with finding Bigfoot, he was able to not convince, but just get them in there. So
I negotiated with the tribe.
There you go. So finding Bigfoot got to film at those rocks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now
and it was fun. I mean, we did some smudging, and we threw some tobacco around and stuff like that. I mean, we did it the right way so that the tribe will let them come back one day if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And
now,
what's cool?
What's good about this is that because Alan has some connections, we were actually the Sanger Paranormal Society was actually invited to go up where no white man has ever gone before.
That's true.
And we actually went camping up on the res, way up there, on their campsites. Some stuff happened to us when we were there. Now, it's kind of cool that because our name is getting out there, we actually get, from what I understand from Ellen, a lot of the Native Americans on the res and different type of reservations around here, because there's many of them. You got the Tule, you got
the Mono, Miwok,
right,
and there's a bunch.
Luck, and because of what we're doing, they actually trust us and they like what we're doing. That we have them as fans, man.
Yeah.
We do, right? They told you. Yeah, we saw you show
Well,
last
as long
night.
as we don't shoot a Bigfoot.
Right.
Even though they tell stories too, Bigfoot's not a nice thing, they actually use it against their kids. They kind of like use it against their kids.
Right. So don't go out at night because they will take you and eat you.
That's right.
And that goes for the women and the children.
That's right.
Just like the kukui.
Yeah, right.
So,
I wonder if it's the same thing.
yeah.
It probably is.
Could be. But the Bigfoot's real. I don't know if you guys saw the kukui on the Grimm just last week, but they actually had an episode called the kukui.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so that but anyways,
So it's a kukui.
a monster, the boogeyman. Actually, it's called a
boogeyman.
boogeyman.
Okay.
That's the boogeyman. So if you don't, that's Mexican American when we were brought up, and if we were doing bad things or not going to sleep when we were supposed to, my parents would say the kukui's going to come and get you. Go to sleep.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Dang.
So, but there you go. But that's not even close to a Bigfoot, guys. So this is apples and oranges. So.
Yeah, but maybe that's what it came from.
Oh.
I mean, like if they're running around in the rivers and stuff like that, and peeking in your window, maybe they snatched somebody out of the house.
And the kukui was the monster that somebody saw.
Yeah.
Right. Just wow. So. You guys see, this is the stuff that we're getting because we actually have made connections. I mean, we have so many more stories that we could tell you, and we are going to tell you. But we're also going to have people who call in that have had really killer, incidences that have happened to them, cases.
In fact, there's one. We got a call out by Sanger.
The two kids.
No. This one was we went and set security
the
cameras.
Yeah.
And I have this DVR full of like 5 days of video, and supposedly something on it. But my in-laws showed up, and when if you record 5 days on a DVR, that means you have to sit there for 5 days and watch it. You know what I mean? You just can't like sit down in a couple hours and go through this thing. You really have to sit there and watch the whole thing. So. To the people, and I'm not going to say their names, if they're listening, I'm sorry I haven't been able to watch that yet. The in-laws are leaving this week, and I'll make time to sit down and the 5 days, and I'll watch all 4 cameras, and they give me a piece of paper saying, some times that I can go check out and fast forward to go to, which makes it a whole lot easier.
Right.
But I'm still going to look at every inch of it because they were asleep sometimes. They weren't watching all the time. I mean, and things can get by you.
Right. Yeah, you can't. And it's like, you literally, if you record a week on the DVR, you really have to sit there and look at the darn thing for a whole week.
I mean, you ever watch Taps?
Yeah.
And they only do like a few hours, but
Right.
it shows them going.
Yeah, looking at that, and then, yeah, pretty much looking at the video. Oh, wait, rewind it. I think it's awesome, but that's what it is in real life, and we do that, you guys. When we get a UFO sighting, like for example, we had one just east of Sanger. We went, and I actually climbed on the roof of this house. I placed a case. I mounted 4 cameras on top of this case, and I put the DVR inside this weatherproof case. And I ran a output line to their TV inside, and I split the screen into 4 sections. And I hit record, and we let it go. And that's what we do, not only for UFOs but for Bigfoots as well. We have the motion sensor cameras. I go up, and we go to the spot where they happen, where all this is happening. And
lately we've been doing something different. Jeffrey climbs trees.
Yeah.
He'll climb up a tree, and he puts his gear on, like these little spikes on his feet, and up he goes. And then we hang the camera way up there.
And
Nice.
see, I work for a phone company, guys, so I gaff telephone poles for a living. And what I do is I put these gaffs on, and I climb the tree, and I put the about 10 feet up, and angle them downward, because Bigfoots, I believe, or we believe now, that they're used to spotting these cameras that are waist high or knee high, and they now know how to avoid them. You guys need to.
We have David had video of one.
Yeah,
and we're pretty sure it's a Bigfoot, but you could see its eye like go over and look, and all of a sudden the camera's going, going all wild and everything, and he's lost a few cameras, and they're like $300 cameras. You just don't want to lose them.
No, you don't.
So we put him way up there, and still not out of reach of him. Though,
right. No.
But maybe he won't like climb up there.
You know what? We still have 4 cameras where the kids are at.
Oh,
my God, dude, we gotta go.
It's been like 2 months, huh?
Dude, we gotta go. We had 2 kids about 2 years ago, and we're talking the Valley, Florida, guys, and not that intersection.
We're talking like only 2 miles out of town.
We're talking Zediker and Ashland Avenue, and there's a marshy area where it's like a pondy basin sort of kind of, but it's shrubs, and you got food all over the place. And when I mean food, you have wild berries, you have grapefruits, you have oranges, you have figs. All that is, and cactus.
It's right there within like a 5-acre thing.
Cactus. Well, these kids go out to this location to play on the weekends, right? Well, they saw this huge thing walking on 2 legs, walking into the marsh, trying to hide from these kids. These kids freak. They run home, and they tell the mom, and the mom is just telling them, you know what, you guys are lying, stop lying. And then finally, they convinced her. And she got on the internet and did some research and got a hold of me. And ever since then, we've had some motion sensor cameras up in that area. And I just forgot that we've had them now up there for about 2 months. And we got to go back and retrieve them.
Maybe we should do that.
Like maybe this weekend or something.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. We're going to go retrieve those cameras on a Saturday.
What is it? They record only so long, and then they start to re-record over their self, right?
No, these particular ones have like 10,000 picture capability, and so it's we're good. Yeah, we're good. So that's what we're going to be doing this Saturday. And this is what I mean, you guys. We're investigators. This is what we have out there right now. Now we got to go and see what happens. See if we got anything.
On paranormalcentral.net, I put fun pics or fun photos or something like that.
Okay.
And I actually have some photos of the thing you made with the case and the security cameras and everything, and the TV, showing what we did.
Right.
And I have a million pictures, and I'm having a hard time figuring out what all I want to show everybody.
Right.
But I'm going to put everything we do. A little bit of everything we do, I'm going to put there. Okay. I'm going to put videos on that site. I think I have the Triangle news clip that they did about the Triangle Alley on that site.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a much more to go on there. I just want to do it cool looking, and I don't want it to look all cheesy. And
there was another incident that occurred, and this is the reason why Chasing UFOs came down here to Fresno. We had a triangle crash that happened north of Fresno. For all those who are like tripping out, go Google triangle crash north of Fresno. Late at night, I just got out of the shower. It's like about 7 o'clock on a Saturday or the Friday. I can't remember. And a guy by the name of Justin called me. And he goes, dude, a triangle I don't remember if he had a triangle or something just crashed on the side of the hill by his house. And I'm all, dude, right, whatever, stop messing with me.
What are you smoking, man?
I go, no, it's my wife, we're looking at it right now. And I'm going, are you serious, Justin? I'm going, yeah, get your, over here now. So I just got out of the shower. I'm in like shorts, right? And I start grabbing all my video equipment, and I throw everything in my truck, and I get my night vision Sony cam in one hand, and I'm driving down now Clovis Avenue, heading towards North Fresno, right? And what I'm doing is I have Justin on the cell phone, and I have on my left hand, and I have my video camera in my right hand. And I'm driving with my knee, guys. Seriously, I swear to God, I'm driving with my knee. I mean, if a cop he'd be freaking out right now.
I think that video's on YouTube.
Is it on? If not, we're gonna put it back on there because anyways, I did not want to miss. I wanted Justin to explain to me exactly what was going on while I got there, and he was telling me everything that was happening. And then all of a sudden he says, "Jeff, there's cars and trucks and stuff coming from over the hill." And they were ascending on this craft. And I'm freaking out. I'm going, I better get there. And I'm videotaping all this. Well, to make a long story short, I arrived at the scene, he said as I was getting closer, they started to disperse, and as I got there, I started taking video. I got some video of some weird stuff that was happening on the side of that hill, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, with welding going on, all that kind of stuff. Well, word got out, and Chasing UFOs, James Fox called me because he heard about this, and he came down. And North Fresno, where this happened, this is where all the weird stuff is going on north of Fresno. I mean, we've got UFO sightings over there. It's crazy. But I mean, like I said, I have, you know, Alan has told a couple of stories. I mean, the Triangle Crash, that's on the internet. You can go and read about it. My story that, I mean, my first UFO, I guess, was when I was a kid. In Sanger, I saw something that was floating in the back of my house that looked like an aluminum can that I knew was not supposed to be there, and it had lights on it. That thing scared me so bad.
How old were you?
I was in third grade. And it frightened me so bad that changed my life forever. And that's where the paranormal came into my life.
See, that's what Sasquatch does.
Yeah, well, Sasquatch. I mean,
when you see it, your whole life has changed.
See, you just started. I mean, like, you're a newbie. Now I'm a newbie.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean that happened in 1987.
87.
Yeah. So, you know,
so you're talking like 30 something years.
Yeah,
for you.
exactly. Now check it out, guys. Does everybody remember the story? It's actually on YouTube, called The Night Crawlers of Fresno. Does that ring a bell? The Night Crawlers of Fresno. Go to YouTube, type in The Night Crawlers of Fresno. I'm going to tell you what happened here. And this is 100% real, what I'm about to tell you. You can go and look at the video. A gentleman in central Fresno at the intersection of Tulare and Cedar Avenue. Spanish speaking. Does not know any English. Back in the day when it happened was 2008. He didn't have a computer. What happened is, in his front yard, you know, he had kids, and they have their toys all over the place, and he had a wrought iron fence all the way around.
I'll be right back.
Okay, and what happened is there was kids stealing his kids. There was other kids stealing his kids' toys, right? So what happened is he decided to go to Harbor Freight and to purchase a $30 video camera from Harbor Freight, and he had a VCR. And what he did is he mounted the camera on the eave and plugged it into his VCR. That was his security system. Well, he started to record at nighttime. Then he had it hooked up to a little black and white TV. And one night, he had like 4 or 5 chihuahuas in the backyard, right? They started to bark and bark like he's never heard them bark before, ever. He thought that there was, somebody was slashing them and killing them. He gets up. He comes over to the family room, turn on the black and white TV, and he's looking at it, and then all of a sudden he sees this thing walking across the grass in his front lawn. And he's tripping. He's looking at this thing. This thing is walking, and it walks diagonally across his yard. And then not more than 15, 20 seconds later, a second one appears, starts to walk the same route. Now, he's freaking out, right? Well, the VCR is plugged in. He has video of this thing. And the next morning, he's watching this thing, and his whole family's just totally tripping out. And it's on a VCR tape because that's what he had it on recording with. So he wanted to know what these things were. So he took them to the Univision TV station here in Fresno. He gave it to him and said, "I got this on tape. Can you please tell me what it is?" And he's speaking Spanish because that's all he knows how to do, speak Spanish, right? And they put it in their studio and brought it up, and they're freaking out. And they're looking at him, and they're going, "You're kidding us, right?" And no, he got this, whatever these things were, on video. Now, I have interviewed this guy before. As a matter of fact, Ruben Duarte from MUFON. What happened is Univision contacted a paranormal investigator out of Los Angeles, California, and they told him what happened and told him what they had on video from this gentleman. His name is Camacho. He comes down from L.A., and he checks this guy out, and he's looking at the video, and he tries to investigate to debunk it, and he's totally tripping out. So Camacho, the investigator from LA, calls Ruben Uriarte, the director for Northern California MUFON, who is still the director and a good friend of mine, Ruben, and he tells him what he has. So somehow Camacho shows Ruben this video, and they show it, I believe, that year or the following year at the MUFON symposium in Colorado, I believe it was. And then word got out, and it was, people have been talking about it. There's a lot of people who've never even seen it. Now, it's on YouTube. Just type in Fresno Nightcrawlers of Fresno. Now, there are two YouTube videos. One is the original, and then there's another video. It's in green. It looks like these two objects are walking behind a tree line. That video is fake. I'm telling you right now, don't even bother with that video. The other video you want is the two objects that are walking on the lawn that you can see coming from up above downward, okay? Did you know that show Fact or Faked on the Sci-Fi came to Fresno to do a story on it? They tried to reproduce it. Now, this is what totally blew me away, and I think they goofed by accident, or they didn't get the thing correctly. But if you guys look at the video on YouTube, the objects that are walking across the yard, there's a queen palm right in the middle of the grass area. Back in 2008, that thing was only 4 feet high. So therefore, these objects, or whatever creatures that were walking across the grass, were half the height of this queen palm, which puts it at 2 feet each. All right. Now, when Sci-Fi, the Fact or Fate came up over, the queen palm had already grown like to 8 feet. So I think they had goofed up on the measurements, and they were trying to reproduce it using a small boy and a robot and things on strings, and they couldn't even reproduce it using all that extra stuff. So now. If you guys are watching this video right now on live stream on our other channel, there's something right behind me to my left that there's a famous artist here in Fresno. His name is Stan Bitters. I mean, this guy is famous. I mean, movie stars, actors, they all buy his stuff. I mean, he's extremely expensive. Well, one day, oh my God, I mean, this is part of the ruins, but he actually crafted these. I don't know what you want to call them, but did you see this object right here in the back with the small body and the long legs? All right, this is about 2 feet high. Sure looks like the Nightcrawlers of Fresno, doesn't it, guys?
It might even be the same.
Oh, I'm
size.
sorry. Hold on. Go ahead.
It might even be the
same size. Yeah. So and there's a long story there, but all those who are listening right now who want to look at the video, go to YouTube, the Nightcrawlers of Fresno. All right, I'm going to tell you right now that is a real video. All right, the gentleman did not fake it. Nobody faked it to try to get him, on a lie. I mean, this video is absolutely true. And now you're going, okay, well, wait a minute. Now we're talking little 2 feet creatures. When we talk paranormal, that involves everything. And I know this is going to sound ridiculous, guys, but fairies and gnomes, all that, there is some reality involved here. And
like what is leprechauns?
Leprechauns, all right. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have a guest on in a couple of weeks that wrote a book on this type of subject, and we're going to talk about. Have you guys noticed that on TV? And I've always said what the stuff that you guys are witnessing right now on TV and in movies, a little bit, a good portion of it is basically real stuff, and they're trying to condition us, I believe, and they're trying to give us little bits and pieces of what's really happening out there. Look at what's on TV now. I mean, you got Vampire Diaries, you got Tomorrow People, True Blood. Now, if you look at True Blood, which is not on the air anymore on HBO, it was vampires, but look at how they kind of like switched over a little bit, and they were talking about fairies and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's just happening on purpose, guys. I can tell you that right now. There's some crazy stuff happening out there. Little creatures running around.
My mother-in-law pointed something out the other night, like only 2 nights ago. She's half Cherokee, and my wife is quarter Cherokee, and they've been doing ancestor search things, because when it only goes back only so far, and then it's not written down. It's all verbal stories. And we were talking about some of the things that the Cherokee talk about, like the little people, okay, like what you're talking about,
right?
And then the white man came along, okay, the European people, and then they had these certain stories that were like Rip Van Winkle, okay, where the Native American would be called into the woods by some little person, or would be lured, and then they would go inside the mountain, okay, and be thinking they're there for a few hours, and then when they come out, it was days or months or years.
I heard like 7 years.
Yeah, but only then the white man came along, and then Rip Van Winkle's story came, and my mother-in-law pointed out that is confirmation to the Cherokee stories that go pretty far back in the actual same geographic location. And I didn't know it was the same geographic location. That's something she pointed out, and then I had to go look it up, and I found out, yep, Rip Van Winkle was right in the same spot as the Cherokee. We're always saying that happened to them.
Now, when Monsters and Mysteries came down, there's a story that happened pretty close on the Tule River.
Yeah.
Where a lady in a house, I believe the river was in the back, the Tule River in the backyard, there was an evil gnome or a leprechaun that always teased her and stuff. And there was a story out on it, guys. I'm going, what? Really? Yes. I mean, this is the stuff. Well, did Monsters and Mysteries go out there and do a story? I think they did, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So that's going to be part of the episode, or if not, on another episode. But, yeah, I mean, when I started talking about leprechauns and gnomes, these ruins that we were discussing a little while ago, and we discussed, if you guys want to see some photographs and see how we pretty much stumped Scott Walter from America Unearthed, go watch on live stream the episode that we did last week. You'll get to see some pictures of the ruins. Well, the person who lives on this property told me that after we left the first time we visited him, he saw a small creature with a headlamp on his forehead. And this area where these ruins are at, back in the days, is where they actually mined for copper. Now, let's think about that, guys. What fairy tale out there resembles that story? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Or the Tommy Knockers. Have you heard of the Tommy Knockers?
Yeah, only from, what's his name? But yes, I have. Yeah.
I mean, that's their description, too.
Yeah, from little people. The little people, okay? So, where did they get the story of the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? All right. Now, this guy or the person who lives on this property was saying it was an alien with a headlamp. And then we went back home and we were going, hey, alien with a headlamp.
Yeah. No. Aliens don't have headlamps.
What would they need?
They have eyes that see in the dark.
So, then my wife, she's into fairies and been doing a lot of research. And then it kind of hit us. Wait a minute. Copper mining, minerals, the people who take care of the earth.
Those see in the dark. That sees in the dark.
It's like, wait a minute. I think what he witnessed was some type of a gnome or a leprechaun, because it was part of the underground mining area there. So a lot of these, possibly people are getting confused with aliens and these small creatures of a different type. And I think, again, what we are being shown on TV is there's
Could
a
be
little
the
bit.
truth.
They're trying to give us a little bit of everything, and they're trying to condition us because one of these days, the truth is going to come out. Now, is it going to be in my lifetime? I don't know. I hope so, but it's pay attention, guys.
Well, you know,
pay the freaking attention to what you guys are watching on TV. I'm telling you right now.
On my Facebook page, my wife gets mad at me because I like to post up pictures and stuff, and sometimes I don't know why she doesn't, but she'll be waiting for something before she posts the picture. Okay. And I went, and when we were back there, I took all these pictures of her grandfather's painting. He's like this famous Cherokee painter, and there one Thanksgiving, and then, oh man, it was like a long time ago before we even had kids. But we were sitting in the living room, and he was telling us he was painting, and he's long dead now, but he was telling us he was painting a painting of the little people. Okay, but only the little people didn't give him permission to finish the painting. And we're like, man, I want to see the painting of the little people. I want to see little people. He's like, they didn't give me permission.
Wait. So he was actually painting what he was physically witnessing?
Right. He was telling us he would go off in the woods in Oklahoma and talk with them and everything, and he decided he was going to do a painting, and then they told him no, they don't want the painting, And he was trying to talk him into it, and then one day he told us, it was like 3 or 4 years later, he's like, hey, I got permission and I finished the little people painting. So as soon as I could find that painting, I took pictures of it, and I think I posted on my Facebook. But it's the little people are only like this big, and they looked exactly like the Native Americans. I mean, they were just miniatures of them.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't little dwarfy looking weird. They were fully proportional, in tribal gear, war paint,
mm-hmm.
long hair. I mean, they look just like the full size Indian, but only they're only like little. And he was telling me that I was talking to my mother-in-law about it, and it seems when the white man came and took their land, they would, we're going to build a house right here. And then the tribe people would say, hey, don't build your house right there. That's where the little people, that's their
pathway.
That's their path. And they went ahead and built it there. And then that's where the word poltergeist came from. Because then the little people got mad, and they were still walking through their house. But when they did, they would like knock dishes over, and they would like do stuff. And the people would see these little people looking around the corner of the couch and the wall and under the table and stuff like that. And that's where that came from over there.
Interesting.
And then they would leave the house because they never could get it cleared out, because that was the path of the little people. It was built.
There. Now, I heard the same thing, and this is in Ireland, I believe, that they're very superstitious, that if they believe that if there is a troll in this area of a lake or stream, and you're building a road, you got to build around it.
Right.
You got to leave it be and build around it, or else bad things will happen, at that particular point later down the road, and it could be traffic accidents or whatever. So in Ireland, you guys, they are really seriously into this type of stuff, and they believe it big time.
You know what's weird about their story is the mountains open up, Darby O'Gill, and the little people and the mountain opens up, and then they go in there and they're partying down, and time goes by, right? And when he comes out, he's turning out because
everything's changed.
Yeah. The Indians say the same thing, only they walk in a creek. They walk into the creek and then start walking along inside the creek, and then the mountain opens up, and then they go in it. In there. Wow.
Well,
man, we're almost out of time, huh? We're having so much fun,
it's
too.
It's 6:59, so I believe the Dark Matter web master said that the show after us is not going to come on. So in case we go over, in case we go over a little bit, it's not a problem. So we're going to talk a little bit more, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to look at my notes, because I know there's so much that we haven't talked about. right now I'm going to tell you guys, next week we're going to have a guest. His name is Lyle Blackburn.
Yeah.
He is the
Lyle,
guy
you
who
rock,
knows everything you want to know about the Legend of Boggy Creek. Everybody remember that movie? I'm raising my hand right now because that scared the you-know-what when I saw that in the 70s, all right? That scared me so bad. He lives out in that area, and he has done research and investigated on the Boggy Creek Monster, and he's going to come on next week, and we're going to talk shop Boggy Creek. All right, you guys? I mean, we are going to have some fun.
So it's going to be like Sasquatch and Lizard Man.
And I'm going to, yeah, we're going to, I'm going to play some of the stuff on the air as far as the audio, because the audio of it was a documentary, guys, but the audio that they use of the creatures screaming, it was so bad, it was scary, and it's gonna freak you guys out because this stuff is awesome. And we're gonna go ahead and we're going to talk about the Legend of Boggy Creek next week. Now, Lyle has written 2 books, The Legend of Boggy Creek, the Monster, and a new one called The Lizard Man.
I had them right here, but we moved them.
Yeah, we moved them. Well, because this show, what we do here is we give away stuff. We like to give away things, okay, you guys? So I have got from Lyle, and for those who are watching on the live stream right now, and for those who are not, no problem, but I have a couple of posters here.
And look at what it has on it.
Hey, Lyle,
I don't know if you could see it.
Lyle autographed both of them. We're also going to be giving away 2 autographed books of The Legend of Boggy Creek. We're also going to be giving away 2 autographed books of the Lizard
Lizard Man.
Lizard Man, I'm sorry, Lyle. And we're going to be giving away 2 autographed CDs or DVD of the actual movie.
Yeah.
So we got 2, 4, 6, 8 stuff we're going to be giving away next week, you guys, and we're going to be giving away here on this show. This is what we do when we have authors. We have a budget.
Yeah, we try to arrange in advance, get the stuff, and then give it away.
So that's what we're going to do from now on when we have authors or stuff. I mean, we're going to give away a lot of stuff here, guys. This is a show. We're going to have fun here. We're going to give giveaways. We're going to have people on the air. I'm going to bring people in here to sit down with us, and we're going to talk shop.
Yeah, when we did Chasing UFOs, we actually gave away Chasing UFO hats that they gave us. Oh, yeah. And it said National Geographic Channel and all that, I mean, we've been doing this for a while. This isn't something new. So, I mean, for the new people, it's going to be new to them, but only it isn't new for us.
No,
and it is fun to do.
So, like I said, we're having a blast doing what we're doing. We're not going to stop.
Never.
We're climbing the ladder. We're going to try new and different things. And we want to, again, we want to thank very much the people involved with Dark Matter Network for bringing us on board.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better. We have a lot of plans for us in the near future. We're trying to get, like I said, that talk show on TV. I mean, there's so much going on with this. It's a nonstop for us, and we're having a blast.
And we got Destination America, Monsters and Mysteries. We got to come in like next month. I think next month it might actually go further than next month. I don't know.
Hope not. But if not, we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep you updated as we get more information on that. We have some Facebook pages for those who are listening right now. The listening audience is going to increase. We have a Facebook page for ParanormalCentral.net that we just did not too long ago. I also have a Sanger Paranormal Society also has a Facebook page. I have a personal. Alan has a personal Facebook page as well. I'm at like 4,200, so I'm almost there for 5,000 tops. But if you want to be my Facebook friend personally, do it. Friend me, Jeffrey Gonzalez, Sanger Paranormal Society. If you put all that in, mine should come up. Alan Thomas is the same. Type in his name.
It's facebook.com Alan Thomas /Sasquatchin.
So, okay, guys. I want to say we're going to go ahead and call it. I think they're going to rebroadcast this tonight again. I'm not sure exactly when.
I've been listening to the Dark Matter Guy, Keith, hey man, I've been listening to the shows. I've been enjoying it.
Yep.
I like the website. It is cool. Thank you for choosing us, man.
Appreciate it a lot. Okay, you guys. Well, I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. For Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. And be cool. Like I always say, eyes to the skies, and I hope you witness something that you cannot explain.
And if you do, there is a 24-hour hotline number on paranormalcentral.net. Give it a call.
Give it a call. So, okay, guys, good night. Take care. See you here next Sunday night at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 Eastern. Peace out. Art Bell, you're the man. Wherever you are.
The man.
Thank you very much. Have
Art
a good
Bell's
night,
the
everybody.
man.
Take care. Good night.